So for part 1, homework 8, we have problem 14.3, where we were to add a state that will have a red light in both directions before transitioning to a green light. And then we also have a detector for our east-west direction. So here's my finite state machine. So here in the first state, we have both the north-south and east-west direction red. Then the north-south is going to transition to a green light, while the east-west will stay red. If our sensor is detected and there's a car in the east-west, we're going to transition, north-south is going to transition to a yellow light. If there's no car detected in the east-west, then north-south direction is going to stay green. So if it is detected and it transitions to the yellow light, then north-south will transition to a red light. In this case, this is where we add another cycle where both directions are red before transitioning to a green light. So here you can see in state 4, east-west direction is green, while the north-south direction now stays red. And then east-west direction will transition to a yellow light, while the north-south stays red. And then it will go back to its starting state where both directions are at a red light. So here I have my code for my traffic light controller. I have my sensor, car east-west, that's my sensor. I have a reset and a clock for my finite state machine. And then I have my directions, north-south and east-west, that are both going to be 3 bits, because this is how we define our lights. Red light will be 001, yellow light will be 010, and green light will be 100. So here we have our architecture. Create a signal for our current state and next state. We have a process which our clock and reset is in. So if reset is equal to 1, then the current state will start at state 0. And if the clock is on and it's at a rising edge, then the current state will be the next state, or equal to the next state. Then we create another process here where we include our sensor and our current state. So when we're at state 0, just like previously shown before in our finite state machine, our north-south will start at red, and our east-west will start at the red light, and then it will go to state 1, and then our north-south will be green, and the east-west will stay red. And if the car is detected, then it will go to its next state, and so on and so forth. And I've created a test bench here. Our component is from our traffic light controller entity. And our signals, I have my input signals and my output signals. My input signals are going to be set to 0. And then I instantiate the unit under test where I assign the signals that I've created to the inputs and outputs that were in the entity of the traffic light controller. And then I create a process, clock process, a stimulus process, to go through my states. And so here I will show you an example of my simulation. So here the top one is the sensor, and I have my clock, and then I have my reset, then I have my north-south direction, and then my east-west direction. So here, as you can see, we're going to start at 001, which, remember, is a red light. So they're both going to start at red. And then north-south will transition to a green light. Now, the sensor is detected, meaning the sensor is 1. So if it's 1, we're going to transition the north-south direction to a yellow light, which you can see here. I have 010 on the north-south direction is a yellow, and then it's going to go red. And then my east-west direction will transition into a green, which it was red the entire time north-south direction was transitioning through its lights. So here you can see I have a green light in the east-west direction, then a yellow light, and then a red light. And then here you see our reset. So then we're going to reset back to state 0, which is both at a red light. So here you can see north-south is still in the red light, and east-west has transitioned into a red light. And then it's going to go, north-south is going to go back to a green light until it's going to stay green light until a car is detected, and the car is detected here, meaning car is equal to 1. Our sensor is equal to 1. So then our north-south direction is going to transition from green to yellow to red, so our east-west direction can go. And that is an example of the problem 14.3 for homework 8.